Hi guys! What's up and welcome to today's video. And this one is going to be another Clay Time challenge. And this time I'm going to create the same design many times, but using different time limits. And the times that I've chosen are everything in between 10 seconds and 15 minutes, so this could probably be the hardest challenge so far. But I'm really excited to see how this turns out. And since you guys requested me to make a unicorn a bunch of times in my last video, that is the design that I'm going to be creating today. And by the way, if you like these types of videos, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I'm planning to make more videos like this one in the future. But anyways, I am going to start off with the longest time. So I've set my timer to 15 minutes. And as you can see, I've sped up the time a lot, but I started out by taking some white clay to create the head and the body for the unicorn. And I then took smaller pieces of clay to make the legs and the arms. And I spent quite a lot of time doing this to get the sizes right. And next I took some more clay to create the ears. So I made tiny little triangles and I then used the tip of my knife to give it some details. And I even took some time to zoom in on the unicorn, and here we can see how it looked like before adding any details to it. But next I took two shades of pink and I twisted them together to create the horn for the unicorn. And I then took a bunch of different colors and I rolled them out a little bit. And I then used a knife to cut out smaller pieces to create the hair and the tail for the unicorn. And lastly, with less than 2 minutes left, I made two little round balls to be the eyes. And then I made a little mouth, and I even had time to add some shimmer to the eyes. And here is how my 15-minute unicorn turned out. But this first one was very easy, so I am now moving on to the next one, which is going to be 10 minutes. And to be honest, this was also pretty simple. I just followed the exact same steps as I did for the previous one, but obviously I needed to make everything a little bit faster. And once the time was up, my 10-minute unicorn ended up looking like this. And as you can see, it is very similar to the 15-minute one. But now it's time to try out making a unicorn in just 5 minutes. So I started the timer and I made the head and the body just like with the other two. And again, I made little legs and also some ears for the unicorn. And once I also had added the horn, I began taking a bunch of different colors to create the hair and the tail for the unicorn. And with just 1 minute left, I quickly created the face details for it. And here is how my 5-minute unicorn turned out. To be honest, I kind of like this one. I think it looks super cute, although some of the details aren't as perfect as with the other two ones. But now it is time for the 2-minute unicorn, and this is when things started to get pretty difficult. But I started out the same way as with the other ones. I made a head and a body. But then I actually just rolled out some clay and then I cut out some pieces and I then used them as legs and also as ears for the unicorn. And using this technique is a lot faster, but it usually doesn't look as good as when you begin with the ball and then give shape to the body part. But yeah, with less than 1 minute left, I quickly made a little horn for the unicorn. And I then made the more colorful details, but this time I only used 3 colors because there was no way that I was going to have time to use all 5 colors. And then time was up. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to make any face details, but here is how my 2-minute unicorn turned out. And now I'm gonna try to make a unicorn in just 1 minute. And 1 minute is obviously a very short time to be making something like this, so I really had to hurry up, and actually I didn't even have time to make any legs or even ears for it, but I made a little horn, and I also quickly just took a few colors to create the hair and a tail for it. And so here is how my 1-minute unicorn turned out. So now I'm gonna move on to one of the last times, and that is going to be just 30 seconds. And as you probably can imagine, I didn't really have time to make that much in just half a minute. But I started out by creating a head and a body, and then I grabbed some of the light pink clay and I created a horn for the unicorn. And that was about everything that I had time to do. So once time was up, this is how my unicorn looked like. And as you can see, it almost doesn't even look like a unicorn, it's basically just a face, a body, and a pink little horn. And then I also wanted to see if I could have time to make anything in 10 seconds, so that is what my last time is going to be for this video. So I started the timer, and I then quickly grabbed some white clay, and I made a head, and I made a body, and then with just 2 seconds left, I tried to put on the unicorn horn. But as you can see, I didn't really have time for that, so I probably used about 12 seconds for this one. But now that I've tried out all of these different times, it is time to compare the results, which was my favorite part of this. So here is how all of the unicorns end up looking like. And I also actually decided to add some paint, glitter, and glaze to all of them to try to make them look a little bit better. And here is how they look like now. But anyways, that was everything for this little experiment. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to try out this challenge too, you can totally do that. And if you want to, you can even use the hashtag ClayTimeChallenge so we can share our results with each other. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!